Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, a Quinnipiac student has tested positive for the coronavirus after over 10,000 tests were performed on campus.
Plus, concerns raised over faculty and staff not being required to get tested for coronavirus for campus.
And a new restaurant is gaining popularity here in town.
All this and more on the Q30 Newscast.
Welcome back, Bobcats, to our first show of the semester. I'm Skylar Haynes.
And I'm Hannah Mirsky. With so many changes on campus, we have a lot to cover tonight. Quinnipiac has started its random testing of 20% of students each week, while other college campuses have seen spikes in cases. Only one student so far has been tested positive. Skylar Haynes has more on this story.
Quinnipiac encountered its first positive COVID-19 test result after last week's sample testing. Over 10,000 on-campus tests have been performed, with more happening every day.
Students, parents, faculty, and administration received an email Friday notifying them that a commuter student had tested positive for coronavirus and was isolating at home.
I didn't know what to think, honestly, because I had just come from a class that was filled with 26 other students. So now I'm worried about the fact that I just came in contact with even more people.
John's roommate was the one who came into contact with the student who tested positive. But while only a second-hand transmission, the concern for rapid spreading of the virus was real.
They didn't ask at all about who else I was in contact with.
John reached out to the school about getting tested so he could let people know whether their previous exposure to him was dangerous or not. The school said he was unable to be tested at the time.
Quinnipiac is a special place. I think we're going to make this work.
But others are far more skeptical.
I think I definitely expected a positive case sooner. I'm surprised that we went as long as we did without one.
The person lives off campus, so I'm sure that's in the back of everybody's mind. They're not even going to be here. They're commuting every single day. I'm never going to come in contact with them, but you never really know.
This is Skylar Haynes for Q30 News.
Parents and students have raised concerns about staff and faculty not being required to be tested while on campus. Senior Medical Advisor Dr. Hill clarified the university's decision on the matter.
We have made some assumptions of our faculty and staff that they will exercise their caution when they're not on campus. We're not ignoring the concern. We're thinking about the concern. And we've made a decision that our faculty and staff will follow all of our guidelines and all of our rules, and that at this point will not include testing.
Among these COVID-19 guidelines, chairs on the Mount Carmel campus in its dining hall have been removed. Student leaders and administration noticed students not following the guidelines in the CAF and removed the chairs to ensure the correct amount of students would be at those tables. However, on York Hills campus, chairs haven't been removed and students are not socially distancing themselves when eating.
In an announcement on MyQ, Hogan Lot will be closed for the rest of the semester. The lot is being closed due to lower utilization, according to the message. Quote, with only 39% of its capacity used daily, we have decided to close the lot effective Monday, September 28th, end quote. Students who currently park there will be able to park in either Hilltop or North Lot. For students taking rideshare services. Students should request rides inside their dorms, get in the correct car, ride in the back seat, let their friends know they are taking a rideshare, not share any personal information, and of course, wear a mask. It's time for a quick commercial break. When we come back, Chris Longchamp updates us on the search for a new Supreme Court justice and the increased number of calls at the Election Protection Hotline.
And Jennifer Cuevas brings us updates on coronavirus and what it might look like in the upcoming months. We will be right back.
Welcome to the WQAQ Morning Show. Dan Ball and Emma Spagnolo joining you here from the QAQ studios in Hamden. And Emma, it is that time of year again.
Yesterday, September 22nd, was National Voter Registration Day. Different student organizations, along with professors and administration, were helping students register to vote. Jennifer Cuevas has more on this story.
September 22nd was National Voter Registration Day, and Quinnipiac organizations set up a student-run voter registration drive. The drive took place outside of the Carl Hansen Student Center from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Throughout the day, students were passing by the drive and checking their voter status. Adelina Sirakovic, who is the judicial officer for the Quinnipiac College Republicans, said the drive took place to stress the importance of voting.
They don't know, they can check their status. The election is November 3rd, right around the corner, and a lot of college kids, don't exercise their right to vote, and we're out here today making sure that they take advantage of this opportunity.
Students who live in Connecticut 9 months out of the year are cleared to register to vote, and those who do not have options as well.
If you don't live in Connecticut and you would like to vote here, if you can't go home for election day, you can change your voter registration.
Political science major and member of Quinnipiac Democrats, Paul Capuzzo, said it is a great effort made by the university to go ahead and get students more engaged.
Voting is something, a privilege in this country I think that we all need to take advantage of. And I know registration is something, the number one issue when it comes to voting, the number one reason people don't vote. So if we can get as many students around Quinnipiac to register to vote, it's going to be a great success.
Members of QU Political Science Organization, QU Democrats, and QU Republicans are planning to set up the Bobcat vote table at least one more time before Election Day. Reporting for Q30 News, I'm Jennifer Cuevas.
Chris is live at home and ready to give us an update on what is happening with politics and if we will see a new Supreme Court Justice nominee this Friday. Chris?
Thank you, Sky and Hannah. The world is mourning the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She passed away last Friday from complications to pancreatic cancer. She helped create the ACLU Women's Rights Project, fought for gender equality through many cases, including U.S. versus Virginia, and was the first Supreme Court Justice to officiate a same-sex marriage. The Vice President urged the Senate to fill the seat on the High Court during a rally in Guilford, New Hampshire on Tuesday. The Senate plans to move forward with the confirmation of a new justice. With National Voter Registration Day on Tuesday, the Election Protection Hotline has been receiving a record amount of calls leading up to this year's presidential election. The hotline is run by a nonpartisan group of lawyers. They are checking voter registration status and making sure absentee ballots are filed. Under federal law, all states are required to clear voters who have died, moved, or otherwise become ineligible. This includes up to 17 million people. However, despite the decrease in the numbers, the hotline still expects the number of calls to increase as the election date gets closer. That is all I have for this week's political news. Back to you guys on the desk.
Earlier today, the grand jury in Kentucky charged ex-officer Brent Hankison with first-degree wanton charges of endangerment. The two other officers involved with the death of Breonna Taylor were not indicted. Protesters crowded the streets after the indictment charges. The charges against Hankison were immediately condemned by the public. Shakes and teas seem to be trending right now, especially with college-age students.
I could not agree more, Hannah. I kept seeing everyone on campus with their shakes and teas, and I had to go try it myself. Their one is open right down the road, and Kay Pattyfoot went there to find out more about this local shop called U Nutrition.
What were you doing at the age of 19? Well, for Jaslyn Johnson and Jasmine Soto, they are owners of their very own business, and they're just 19.
I just turned 19 in May, so I was actually 18 when I opened this place.
Jaslyn says the decision to own her own shop was based on working in her mother's shake shop.
My best friend that I was going to high school with at the time, working there with me also. And so then when we got out of high school, we were just like, we want one of our own, you know? We'd been there for so long. So we decided to open one.
Jasmine didn't want to attend college and gave working at Jaslyn's mother shop a try.
Right after high school, I was actually just looking for a job, you know, college wasn't my thing, so her mom was actually opening a place up, and I was like, let me give it a shot.
Well, since that shot, these two best friends' business has taken off.
We served 180 people in one day, and it was the most that we've ever done since we've been open. So yeah, it was like amazing because a lot of the college kids weren't here yet, so it just showed me like, you know, you don't need like a certain community just to like survive.
Favorite drink right now is the Shark Attack.
Definitely the white chocolate Reese's. It is so good. It tastes like peanut butter ice cream. Phenomenal.
When you're on Whitney Avenue and you're craving something sweet but also healthy, stop by U Nutrition for a tea and shake combo. For Q30 News, I'm Kay Pattyfoot.
And as the United States has hit a grave milestone in its battle against the pandemic of COVID-19, reaching over 200,000 deaths, Jennifer Cuevas brings us more in her national update.
Hello, Hannah and Skylar. I'm here in my home in Stamford, Connecticut, and as always, there is a lot going on throughout our nation. Let's take a look. As of September 22nd, the U.S. surpassed 200,000 deaths from the coronavirus pandemic, exactly 200,658 lives lost, according to the New York Times tracker. With the flu season approaching, the U.S. can expect an increase of COVID-19 deaths as cases continue to increase. Hannah and Skylar, back to you at the studio.
That is all the time we have for the Q30 Newscast tonight, but make sure to keep up with all of our content on Q30TV.com and our new app available on the App Store now.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Q30 News for the latest updates.
From Hannah, myself, and everyone behind the scenes, good night, Bobcats.